Hey everybody, my name is Russ. That is Lauren. And if you're my son, you just this year said, holy cow, Tapestry by Carole King is an amazing album. And we're actually going to get into that a little bit into this. We're not going to go a ton into it, but it was through us playing this pressing of this record that my son has become, I don't know, darn near obsessed with Carole King, which is which I'm like smirking and laughing about, but it's with such a joyful thing. It was just one of those things where just good music is good music. It's so transcendent. I put this record on with zero thought. It wasn't a, hey, watch this to you, like, oh, wow, he's going to love this. And to him, it wasn't a, oh, you need to hear this. It was just like, I'm going to allow this record to waft through the house. And then just what an impact it had. You know, you just don't expect that to happen to a 19-year-old in 2025, but here we are. Having said that, we have been doing this oddly fortunate series of hey, we got these records for free. And today we find ourselves in the extremely fortunate position to be talking about a gift that I, and by extension we were given for my birthday this year. I had a milestone birthday, and a very good friend of mine, viewer of the channel and longtime music discussionist with me, debatist. He's not a master. He's up there.
Okay.
I wouldn't call him a master.
A conversationatory?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
He and I have had so many late night conversations about the depth of music and the reverence that we both have for things like audiophile pressings and the appreciation that we both have for labels like Mobile Fidelity and so on. So over the years, I was kind of his audiophile Sherpa over the past 10 years or so, where he got back into vinyl. I want to say probably about 10 years ago now. And he would send me a link or a screenshot and say, hey, is this worth it for something? And I would go, no, that's way overpriced. Or, well, yeah, but for $5 less, you can get this pressing of that will be better, and so on. So this record is one of those that years ago he sent me and said, is this really the best pressing of this to get? And I was like, oh yeah. And so life has a funny way of working out things like this. And so this year he was able to turn around and send it to me for a milestone birthday. And that is a long-winded way of saying today we're going to discuss the Mobile Fidelity incredible, spoiler alert, pressing of Carole King's exceptional album, Tapestry. And, before we get into the rest of the video, I will say that I understand that in the audiophile world and certainly in the YouTube world and by extension, the internet world, there's a certain amount of you that sit out there just excited to dump all over Mobile Fidelity videos. Just hit the dislike button and move on. Like, just like knock the watch time down to like 2 minutes, hit the dislike button and move on. Cause like, I'm going to delete your dumb comment anyways. So, like I want to get that out of the way. There's like literally just this morning, I had to deal with it on our, review from like 2 years ago of a Mobile Fidelity silver label thing. Like if you don't like Mobile Fidelity, why are you clicking on this video? You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. If you want to look for an argument on the internet, there's so many places to do that. Certainly not, this channel absolutely is not that place. So slight amount of negativity out of the way. We're going to move on. I am the opposite of people who hate on Mobile Fidelity all the time. I think they bring a certain reverence to records that is, I don't want to say unmatched, because there's almost labels now that are overdoing it, almost even like even Mobile Fidelity themselves with the way they box the one steps with, and then I don't think you've seen one yet, but Analog Productions has a one step of their own that's coming in these like big wooden boxes and stuff.
Oh, you've told me about them, but I've not seen them.
Yeah, and you're just like, I think we've gone too far now, But I very much subscribe to showing music like this every bit of reverence that it deserves. Now, I totally understand the argument too of, okay, fine, but when this record came out, it was $4. There was a million of them in every drugstore on planet Earth, and they were all cheap printings. And like, I get that too, right? I totally get that, but like all of those pressings are beat to hell now. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't, and for me, I want to hear something like this as close to perfect as possible. And it's stunning to me how perfect this album is. And the way that Mobile Fidelity does their packaging and everything, this is one of those albums that screams to me. Like if they hadn't done this record, this is one that would be like, why haven't they done this album? You know? So when you talk about packaging, I think this certainly wasn't the first one, but when I first showed you what a Mobile Fidelity record was like, I was like, okay, there's going to be a sleeve and a sleeve and a sleeve in here. Which is almost comical at first, but to me, again, it's like a reverence. It's like you have to like jump through some hoops to get to the thing.
Yep. I get you. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you first open a Mobile Fidelity pressing, every time you open the gatefold, there's that like crack, 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 you know, like, which I sound like a dork, but it's awesome. I love that it's like like you could harm a man by hitting him with this. Like it's
probably.
a really thick cardboard, you know?
Solid stuff.
And again, I've touched on this in other videos too. If you're a longtime viewer of the channel, a certain section of the channel might say, yeah, but you don't play the cover. I say that for used stuff. Like for this, if I'm going to buy a pristine copy of this, like I'm going to want it to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so MoFi packaging, it's awesome for me. Sound, I'm not even going to speak on that at first. Like, what did you think? Like when you heard this?
So I was very familiar with this album,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd never heard it like this. And
like
I think,
on vinyl at all. I don't think, right?
And so the best way for me to put this is like Carole King's Tapestry, whatever format you're listening to it on, is a very like intimate experience. Okay. And this treatment of it just enhances that. I hope that makes sense.
Here's the way I'm going to say it. And this is going to sound so vague, but I'm going to try and explain it. So yes, Carole King Tapestry is an intimate experience in that the way I can describe it is like when the guitar solo starts on I Feel the Earth Move,
Mm-hmm.
the soundstage doesn't get any bigger. Like you don't,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Depending on the version that you're listening to, if you stream it or if you listen to a CD or if you listen to a regular pressing, nothing gets any bigger. And I'm not suggesting that the soundstage gets much bigger here. But here's the word I'm going to use for it. It gets more musical. It gets more live on the Mobile Fidelity version.
Yeah.
Everything that's happening on the Mobile Fidelity version, including Carole's movement around her microphone, you can visualize it. It's all more musical.
Mm-hmm.
On like you can see her looking to the side to watch the solo happen.
Yeah, it makes it more tangible.
Yeah. It's even more, I guess when I said more live, I guess that's the better word. I don't know enough about the record to know how much of it was recorded like at the same time or anything. Cause that's at the time where multi-track recording, thanks to people like George Martin and whatnot, was like really becoming more of a thing. So I don't pretend to know that any of it was recorded live at the same time or anything. But let me say this, this version of it makes you go, I wonder how much this was recorded at the same time, you know, which is a thought I've never had before with this album ever. Like I've just assumed people went in, laid their stuff down, played their charts, you know, and then she came in, did her thing, and it was, you know, or vice versa. She did her thing and then everyone played around her, whatever. It has never crossed my mind until hearing this pressing that any of it might have been played live at the same time, what you're hearing. Right. And if you're watching this and you're like, oh, well, I know a ton about this and none of it was played live together at the same time. That's fine, but that's beside the point. Like the fact that it's such a vivid live experience that it made me wonder for the first time in my life, then you know they did something right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
So I just think, like, in my opinion, this is one of those things where, and I know people exhaust this phrase. I reserve it for only a few things. Actually, one of the albums I say it about, you haven't even heard this pressing of it yet. But in my opinion, you have not heard Tapestry by Carole King until you've heard this pressing. And that's a fact. Like, you've heard like a recording of it. You have not heard what they wanted you, what she meant and what the team meant that recorded it. When you heard this, you have not heard it until you've heard this pressing. And that's a fact, period. Stunning. And again, to full circle it to the story at the beginning of the thing, that's why years ago, the person was like, hey, can I get away with this other pressing? And I was like, you cannot.
Right.
You know, and I always have a history of being the guy that's like, you know, hey, do I have to buy this one? And no, you don't. You know, and on that one, it was like,
yeah, you kind of do.
Yeah,
that.
you do. Yeah, so it's magnificent. And again, thank you again for such a wonderful gift. It was a cool thing to be able to come back full circle and own something like this. And it was one of those things where very few pressings do I die on the hill of this pressing. And so to be able to own the thing again was fantastic. So the only other thing we always cover is price and value. I usually am a good judge of what MoFi costs, and I honest to God, I don't know what a regular MoFi goes for these days, because the last couple of things I've bought for myself from MoFi have been one steps, either 33 RPM or double 45 RPM one steps. I can't remember the last time I bought either the last thing. Full disclosure, while we're shooting this video, I have on the way to me Michael Jackson Dangerous MoFi, which is but still it's a double LP. It's not a one step, but it's a double LP 33 RPM. And what's funny is that video will probably come out before this one, by way of a long story. But even that though would be priced differently than this, because it's a double LP.
Makes
so
sense.
I have no idea what it costs, but I will say this: having no idea what a single LP costs from Mobile Fidelity these years for an OMR, it's not a silver label, it's not a one step, for an OMR. I would, if we were in this, let me say this, if you and I were in the store and I saw this on the shelf, before picking it up, I would tell you, I would say, oh shit. And then when you say what, I say, well, I think we're going to walk out of here with $60 less. And then if I picked it up and it said 60 or less on it, we would be buying it. Now, do you have an opposing argument? And if so, why?
I don't.
Yeah. Like based on probably mostly the sound in the mastering.
Yeah, it sounds fantastic.
Yeah. So, it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Like, if you haven't heard this pressing, just stop and buy it. Shameless plug for someone we have absolutely no business relationship with whatsoever. Go to rockcitymusic.com and order it through them in Detroit, Michigan, or Livonia, Michigan, but really they're in Detroit. Order it through them. If it's not on their website, just call them and ask for Scotty or Nick and tell them you heard it on Infectious Groove. They'll probably give you a discount if they can. I don't know if you can discount Mobile Fidelity or not. If they can't, they'll give you a discount on another record. Give them a link to this video and tell them I said so. Nick will probably laugh about it and find you a way to give you a discount. But anyways, stop what you're doing and own it. If you don't hear a difference between this and everything else, then my next piece of advice would be to sell off all of your stereo equipment and probably just sit in the corner, maybe not listen to music anymore. Would be, I think, what you should.
That's probably what you should do.
Yeah, do something like that. Maybe just become a Creed fan. So if you would please drop a like on the video, drop a comment. Let us know what you think of this, unless you're the Mobile Fidelity hater, in which case I don't even know why you're still here. If you are all excited to drop the comment about how much you hate Mobile Fidelity, or that thing from 10 years ago about that you half know about with the digital masters and all that stuff, I'm going to delete that comment anyway, so don't even bother. That is Lauren. My name is Russ. For all of the rest of you, thank you so much for watching.